morning, everybody. I am happy to be going to try to knock out this field. I did not get any good footage for you yesterday. I was going to try to, it was kind of an iffy day. I ran the bulldozer first thing, finished up on that one farm I was at, and I wasn't sure that I was going to plant yesterday because it was supposed to rain a good bit, and I really didn't want to rain and then I'll have all the beans in the ground and possibly they don't come up. So because the ground was still pretty heavy, but I went ahead, moved over there, and I started planting. I actually planted about 83 acres last night, and I've got around 220 acres total over there where I'm at. So I'm going to try to get over there and get that knocked out today. It's pretty awesome because I didn't think I'd be able to work today. There was some thunderstorms and stuff moving in last night. It rained on me yesterday while I was planting. I actually stopped. I almost came in, and I'm glad I didn't because the rain went away and it didn't really affect us at all. I am headed now to go get a seed tender to put my beans in and then take them to the field, because I actually had loaded the planter before I headed out to the field yesterday, and I planted all those. So I'm gonna get some seed, get ready, and head out there. If you're watching this, thank you. Please hit the like button and hit the subscribe and share this with your friends. We got a busy day ahead of us. One of the fun parts about farming, it feels like there's never anything that just goes super easy. So this is the tender that I got to get. That's what it's like. It's actually that one back there, and it's blocked in by this cotton trailer that we got hay on and the combine right here. So I'm gonna have to, hopefully the combine will crank. I'm gonna have to move the combine out, pull this out a little bit, and then I think I can finagle it out of there. That's gonna be kind of my plan. So can't just be a quick pull up in here and get it. Now I got to move all this stuff to like have this domino effect to get it out. So that's one good thing I like it, that it's that tender, because that one does not have the spigot, like the spout part that comes off. So I am glad it's at least that tender, but got to get it out of here. Man, didn't realize I was going to get in my morning workout early. We got the tender hooked up. I had to push it by hand out here and roll it. Tell you what, you do that every day, you'd get in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna go up here to the shed now and try to, I think I can probably get all of the beans on this thing. So I'm gonna try to unload all the beans in there, and then we'll be headed to the field. Something essential to a good day of putting in some work is a very balanced and good breakfast. So for instance, here we've got a bologna biscuit. Ideal protein, perfectly healthy for you biscuit, bologna. I mean, is there anything better? And then we even got our protein drink here, some chocolate milk. Getting it on this morning. all farmers, you got to be properly fueled to take on the day, and that's what we're doing here. All right, we're here. Got it going. Tender going here. Now we fill her up in the field. Bunch of chunks of stuff in there I don't like to see. That kind of stuff that'll clog up the planter. These little black pieces there, that would cause a bad day for me. So while it's going in there, if I can show y'all, I'm gonna sprinkle some graphite and talcum powder in there. That helps it flow better. Now just kind of spread them out so you can fit a bunch in here. And like I said, I mean, fill this thing up, that'll be 80 acres. This place is about 220 acres altogether. So, shoot, if I can get 80 and 80, hell, I won't lack but 60 acres. So, just praying and hoping that the planter and the tractor will hold together, and then we won't have any problems, and we'll be able to knock this out, because it is some pretty strong rains coming this coming week. We dodged the bullet last night. I don't think we'll get that lucky, or I don't want to say lucky. I'm not a lucky kind of guy. I had prayed that we would miss the rains. That happened, which is a weird prayer to have because we need the rains. But I had just prayed that we would get done. So I'm not considering it lucky. I'm considering it that God was like, man, I'm gonna throw you a bone, let you get this place finished. So, all right, they're full. 80 acres. Let's try to knock it out. Did have to add a little hydraulic oil to my tank, but I think we're ready. Got her full, ready to try it out. So I'll explain a little bit of what I got here. This right here this is the brains of the planter, and you can see the little map right here. I think you'll be able to see it all right. This is my GPS map, and now this is a Case Monitor, whatever, Pro 700. It's set up really for a red tractor, but I've got it linked up with my Green Star here to make it work. But like you can see, this page will show, there's the full map of the field. And everything obviously that's highlighted, I've planted. What I have not planted is the white sections. Knocked that out today. But these right here, this graph, this is showing when I start planting, my seed will come up. You want it to preferably stay in above the red line, but below this line here, that white line. So that's all of the brains. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff I could show you through. I mean, this stuff gets pretty wild in here. Downforce, that'll go up. I'm running about 100 pounds of downforce. That's your air compressor pressure right there. This is your section control. This planter is equipped, it'll shut off every 2 rows. Like as I start to overlap, it'll shut off 2 rows. Now this crap is gonna be, this is what's frustrating to me. It did this to me yesterday just for a little while. The GPS thing is trying to mess up. See, this is where my GPS is powered. This is my John Deere monitor. It's a Green Star monitor, and I have to have this to run my GPS. It does not read it on here because it's, let's see, yeah. It won't read it on here when I'm planting because it doesn't read the planter. There's a way, I think, to link it. I haven't figured it out. So it's still showing my map. I don't think I'll be able to do it with that being messed up, but we might try. No, I know I won't, because I won't be able to use auto steer, because this tractor has auto steer. That's kind of the whole point of using the GPS. We're going to turn it off. Kind of like the old Control-Alt-Delete people used to do on computers. Sometimes you just got to turn the stuff off. I'm going to go out there and unplug the GPS globe, plug it back in, and see if that helps. So, well, hopefully it does. But you can see maybe my little planter marker right there. I did that just so I would have a reference, because your GPS is run off of satellite. Satellite is moving. So it's not uncommon, maybe very common, that whenever you get back to the field the next day, your GPS lines may be shifted. So I always like to throw a marker down at the end of the day when I'm quitting so that I can re-zero my lines. So I'll do that as long as the globe works. So I'm about to unplug that, plug it back in, then I'll show you the procedures of getting it primed up, and we'll start planting. We're back in action. Luckily, turning it off, turning it back on worked. It's pretty deadgum spot on. I'm not having to mess with it at all. If you can see the little marker line there, I like that line. So we're gonna jump right over here. That's where I had planted just a little ways and ran out of beans. So about to hop over there and see what old Bertha here can do. Hopefully we have as good of a day as we did yesterday, because it was perfect. Planter did great. Everything awesome. So I am an optimist. You know, a lot of farmers, or not a lot of them, but some farmers are very pessimistic. It's like if the weather looks questionable or this or that, it's immediately doom and gloom. That is not how I operate. I'm an eternal optimist, I guess. I don't want to say I don't have worries. I absolutely worry and stress, but it's going to get done. That's how I feel about it. It's going to get done. So, all right, here's what we got to do. Vacuum control on, bulk fill. I'm going to bump that up to 3,200. It seems to be doing better for me there. And then I'm going to turn everything on. I push this down. Let's see, you can see the fans engage here. You see some smoke blow out of there. It's actually dust, but well, you can see it there. Got the PTO running there. The PTO powers one of the vacuums, and then the hydraulics powers the other. So we'll throttle her up. Pretty well run her wide open. All right, you can see vacuum 1, vacuum 2. They're supposed to run 20, so you go over here to prime, hold it down, and it's going to spit seed out of all of those rows. Now you see it maybe blowing the stuff out. Now it's running the vacuum way up there. It'll go up to 30 something, but it should start coming down. But I like to prime it twice, just for good measure. All right, see seed coming out of everything. Vacuum's getting more leveled out, 19. So that's what we'll be watching. Now we'll go over here to our graph. And when I put it down and start planting, all these will come up. I'm not going to engage my markers because I don't need it. So here we go. Kind of get her lowered down a little bit. All right, now the chart should come up. Kind of work their way up in there, but eventually they should all get pretty well in between the lines. I guess I showed y'all the wrong line. They need to be between that line and the red line. That's pretty dang good. As I run, they'll usually level out some. You can see it flattening it out, showing my downforce there. Population 140,000, and she's following the line. I don't even have to touch the steering wheel as long as all goes well. I've been running about ninth gear, about 6 miles an hour. I ran some at 10 yesterday, but I'm not sure that it was putting them out as well as I wanted them to, as accurately, I guess, seed placement. So I backed it back down to 9. Planting around 27 acres an hour as long as it all holds up. But here we go, guys. We are in full swing. So you'll have some little outliers, but they'll usually come back down and level out. Yeah, and this is the planter brains. That's the GPS brains. Well, I guess in typical farm fashion, this all day yesterday, tractor did perfect, GPS did perfect, planter did perfect. Now today, my GPS has quit working. So I have lost auto steer, which overall doesn't sound like a big deal. But when I've been planting without using the markers, it is, because I have no idea where I planted. Like, I can kind of see it, but I have a very long pass to make, and you can get way off really easy. So stupid GPS has quit working. It's something to do with like a CAN bus fuse or something. Well, I can't do nothing about that because John Deere's closed on Sunday. Hey, I'm glad they ain't making them work on Sunday, but now I'm like, crap. So you'll notice I've got the markers up in the upright position. I run them like that in like a good open field where I'm having to use them. So I've got a lot of planting to do still. I had planted 104 acres so far. About 220 out here, so 116 or so to go. It's not a big deal using the markers. It's just kind of sucks because they will shear bolt, so you got to be kind of watching. And then for some reason, this freaking planter has been throwing a million codes today. Again, perfect. All day yesterday. No issues. All day. And now today, rows will be running way too high. It's going to alarm every single time I put it down. It's going to throw an alarm. Bulk fill rate alarm. This alarm. It's like 3 or 4 alarms every single time I put it down. So just wearing you out, that kind of crap. But we're gonna power through this and knock this place out. I'll have about 16 acres left in this field. It's about 120 acres in this one block. And then there is a 15 or 16 acre field there, a little field there, there, and then I got the 60 acres. But yeah, it's turning into one of those days. Been hammering down all day. Yeah, like I told y'all, my GPS is still messed up, so using the markers, the monitor, the planter's been doing, it's been planting, but it is not holding the line very well. Like, it's all over the place, which I have gotten into some very heavy conditions here. I'm getting out of it right here as I'm planting up, but right back there behind the planter where this came from, it's very heavy. Like, probably would have been a benefit on turbo tilling that spot. That's where kind of having a minimal tillage approach is nice instead of just a full-blown no-till operation. Is I could have turned that soil and it would have aired out a little bit better. But I mean, I like the no-till style, but it is very muddy. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on those back there. Like, even the tractor, there's been a few moments where I'm kind of like, I hope I'm not gonna get stuck. This last pass I'm gonna make, this next pass ought to be, once I make it, I should be pretty well in the clear. But so far I have planted 181 acres, and I've got about probably around 40 acres left. And like an idiot, I did not bring any fuel, and look at that, my fuel level is getting super low. So I'm gonna be cutting it close on the fuel. It's always something. I gotta be cutting it close somewhere. But cutting it a little close on the fuel. But 40 acres. I'm planting, according to this thing, I'm planting 26 acres in an hour. I just checked it. So it shouldn't take, I mean, less than 2 hours left. I should have all these beans in the ground. Just pray that they all come up, especially in that heavy stuff. So I hopped the light on here so you can see me. It's about 9:15 here. The planter now is being great. I tell you, these planters are moody as crap. Like earlier, I guess it was just in a bad mood. It's running like a top now. I got about 2 acres to go and then we're done. I'm headed in. That's a wrap. 214.3 acres. I knew it was close to 215 acres. I remembered I was saying 220, but then it's about 54 over here, so not bad, not bad. We'll fold her up and get it kind of parked, and she's ready to go. I'm a little concerned about my tractor. It sounds weird. The motor is really loud. It had a whining sound earlier. It's been doing that for a little while. And I have tried like crap to figure out what it is. I figured it was an idler or something on a belt, but it was. I couldn't find one that would be the culprit. Well, it's kind of knocking sounding now. It's got plenty of oil, so I don't know. There's no telling. This tractor's a 2004, but it's got pretty low hours. It's like 5,000 hours on it, considering the age. But I'm not liking how the motor is sounding on this thing, so I'm gonna have to do a little investigating. If it gets some good rain like they're calling for this week, I should have time to kind of dig into it. Like I said, the planter started doing awesome. So, but the tractor, I gotta get the tractor figured out. And that freaking GPS, gotta get it going again. Tell you, it spoils you whenever you go to using the GPS. It's hard to go back to using the just the markers. It's also quicker. It's a lot quicker, I think, using the GPS, because you're not I'm not necessarily waiting on the markers as much, but you kind of have to mess with them a little bit. It's just, there's a lot of perks to the GPS. Obviously, the lines are much straighter. I mean, there's some guys that can plant an incredibly straight line. I have to like focus on an area, but it's hard for me to do that because I'm constantly looking back at the planter to make sure everything's okay. It's a pretty good day. Yeah, right on the money, about 16-hour day. That makes for a good, you sleep well after those kind of days because you're freaking tired. But it's a great day. We got all of the I say early beans. They are early, but earlier beans. Not as early as I wanted them to be, but they are all planted. Gotta lock up the birdhouse here. Tom, what are you doing there, buddy? Got all the early beans planted and knocked out. Larry, the old fatty, Winky. Early beans all planted. And now, get the planter hopefully home, and I mean literally now we just pray that they all come up and we're done with those. So guys, appreciate y'all tuning in to the video. I hope you can even see me. It's very dark, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know some stuff you'd love to see. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. And as always, I say, please support your local small farmer. Thank you.